Yes, Blue Colors preferred 30,000. 30,000.
Yeah, so that's the credit card.
The $30,860.54. Oh, with a monthly pay of $922. You know how to live on $120,000 a year? Not to have these minimum monthly payments that equate almost $1,500. Added up, $1,500. $1,500 in minimum monthly payments. We talked about 3 cards, $1,600 in minimum monthly payments. Yeah, you're right. You probably can't cut your lifestyle down when you've stacked your minimum monthly payments up to fucking disaster level.
Well, I just don't know why we
Stupid.
couldn't have this conversation earlier.
You know why? Because you guys separate your fucking money and refuse to budget, so you have no knowledge of your situation, making it incapable of having an accurate conversation. Because you live like children. Because you're not a fucking team. You don't have a conversation when you're not a team. You are 2 unequal parts living around in the same household, and sometimes you fucking make kids.
My wife and I, we have a lot of kids, which is our decision. I always wanted like 4 kids, and she always wanted 12, so we're going to compromise and have 12. So that's our family situation.
You really have 12 kids?
Well, we have 11 right now.
Oh, okay.
You
I
seem
make more
thrilled,
money.
by the way.
Well, I have that type of voice.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. That's good to know.
5 years ago, we were pretty much debt-free. But just in the past 4 to 5 years, as our kids have kind of reached that age, my wife has stuck them in sports and extracurricular activities. And now we've amassed almost $50,000 of debt in maxed out a credit card and, pushed some expenses that we haven't paid, medical or whatnot. And this is something that
What do you
I
make?
think I'm pushing right around 200. The nearest I can figure, we're spending about 25 grand a year on a little over 2 grand a month on these sports. And I think that's kind of the silver bullet, and yet my wife is just absolutely not willing to really give these up. She's going to look for a job and stuff, but what do we do? I don't know.
How in the world does a woman with 11 kids work?
Well, that's a good point. She doesn't have the time nor the energy. Our youngest is 5 and is in school all day.
Asinine. That's obviously not going to happen. I mean, the daycare, you'd have to float a federal grant. Oh, my gosh. No, the sports are not the problem, and no, her working is not the problem. Her not saying out loud, we have a limited amount of resources and we're going to live within them. You not saying out loud, we have a limited amount of resources and we are going to live within them. And write it down. And my wife stuck the kids in sports. Not anymore. My wife and I decide if we can afford anything. And then it goes on the budget, and then and only then do we do it, because we both looked at the overall picture like 2 grown-up people and said, we chose to have 11 kids, and we have to manage $200,000 to feed them, because going into debt continuously is not sustainable. Duh.
When you're young as she is, they know you might be a little bit more gullible, easy to sway or manipulate, and more likely to make bad financial decisions, especially if you didn't have somebody to guide you through how to be financially responsible and give you financial education and financial literacy. So you think getting a dream car when you're 18, 19, 20 is a great idea because YOLO, you only live once, right? And the part that you're not thinking about is most 18, 19, 20-year-olds aren't making a large amount of income. And more than likely, your dream car is expensive.
I am $63,300 in debt.
And you're 20 years old?
23.
23. Okay. What's your 63,000 on? What kind of debt?
It's 3 car loans, but it's a little bit of a unique situation because those 3 cars that I have, one is $33,000. The second is $18,300. And then the one which is personally mine is $5,000. Out of those 3, 2 are under me and my father, who recently, last year, after being unfaithful to my mother, left the household. And so he left me as the head of the household.
When are you going to sell the cars?
The problem is, it was a little bit before I started listening to your show and essentially getting into the personal finance. So I did essentially lend him my credit. So that debt is partially mine. But I can't sell those cars because he's still using them for his small business. He had a big, grand idea of opening up a small business, which he did. And those are his 2 primary vehicles for work, which he uses. So he's still paying them. The problem is they're not prompt payments. And it's just a matter of time before he defaults on one, and it basically snowballs into what I'm not looking towards, to bankruptcy.
Are you on the title?
I am. Well, if I'm the co-signer of one of them.
On the loan, I understand that. You co-signed the loan. Are you on the title? Are you the owner?
That I'm not aware of.
You don't know.
I don't know.
This is not going to go well, Abraham.
I figured, but
Yeah. So one of two things is going to happen. Your dad is going to bankrupt you, or you're going to have an ugly confrontation with your dad to stop this from happening.
all right. So the only other option he has offered, which I still don't want to go through with, but it's the only other, I guess, feasible option. Out of the two vehicles, he only uses one of them for his company use, and the other he actually rents out to somebody else that does transportation jobs, and essentially he cancels out the payments of the second vehicle from that person that he rents it out to. His offer was to refinance those two vehicles into one payment and then paying that off as one vehicle.
As long as he takes your name off the loan, but that's not what he's talking about. Here's my offer. I'm your 23-year-old son. You should quit screwing me. You should sell these cars immediately instead of taking advantage of your own son and setting him up for bankruptcy. You need to find out if you're on the title, and if you're on the title, you need to see a lawyer and go pick the cars up and sell them. Because here's what's going to happen. I'm sorry that your dad is a skunk, but your dad is a skunk.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I mean, it's hard. It's a hard thing to go through. If you're 43 or you're 23 or whatever three you are, to find out that your dad's a skunk, but he is, and he's not a good man. Who would do this to their own son?
I don't know.
Yeah.
After listening to your show, I managed to get my mom out of debt.
Yeah.
She currently has a part-time, and
yeah.
me, my sister, and her have been.
Abraham, what city are you in?
Miami, Florida.
Okay. Are you in a good church by chance?
Yeah, I am. I just don't have time. I'm juggling right now.
I understand. That wasn't what I was asking. I'm just trying to find out what's going on in your life. Because what I need you to do is I need you to holler at that pastor in that church and sit down with him. Because you need a guy that's got some more experience to walk with you while you're walking through one of the most difficult things in your life. And you just need a big brother right now, right?
Yeah.
And I wish I was there. I could do it for you. But what I'm asking you to do at 23 years old is very difficult. And, and it's very emotional. And your family is going through a very, very hard time.
Huh.
And so it's just going to be good for you to get some men in your corner that have good values that can be there with you and be strong with you and help you to get the things done that you need to do. Because you need to really figure out what's going on with these cars and get them sold. But it's going to be a very, your dad is going to have a fit and all this kind of stuff. And so you're going to have some people in your corner that got your back. Nobody's got your back right now. I do, but I'm on the radio in Nashville, so I can't help a lot, Yeah. I'm cheering for you. I want you to do it. Because if out of the pain of your family separation and the fear of your father's reaction, if you do nothing, what you and I both know is he's not going to pay the payment, and eventually the car's going to get repoed, and eventually they're going to force you into bankruptcy. You already told me that. So doing nothing is not a very good plan.
I tried looking into the option of actually selling on through Kelly's Blue Book. I was able to get the value of one of the vehicles, but that even if we sell it, the difference we would not be able to pay back because right now what I have saved up is just for my emergency fund. I've been looking at your baby steps.
Who are these cars financed with?
One is financed through Ally Financial, and the other is through Chrysler Capital.
So you've got a high interest rate, too.
That is correct. On one of them, it's 11%, and the other, I don't remember.
Yeah.
And every month he has late payments, so not only is he paying interest, he's paying penalty fees, too.
And every month your credit gets worse.
Thankfully, he hasn't gotten to the point where it's past 30 days late. I always make sure that I nag him till the last couple of days to pay it on time, and he somehow manages, but I'm scared of the day that he won't be able to manage to make a payment, and then that's when it affects my credit.
Yeah. Well, every time he's late, it affects your credit. That's what it comes down to.
Correct.
You need to holler at your at the pastor of the church, ask if you can sit down with him and see if he can help you get involved in your family situation and be the person that walks with you and gives you some extra strength of a good man standing beside you while you make some of these difficult decisions. You'll have to borrow the difference from your credit union. I suspect you can probably do that to cover the deficit. But I would rather these cars be gone, your dad not be responsible, and you personally be responsible for $5,000 or $10,000 of deficit than I would you be $50,000 in debt here on two cars.
My husband spends on average about $1,000 a month at gas stations for, snacks, drinks. A majority of that, though, is for chewing tobacco.
Oh.
And my question is, how can I help him work towards becoming more financially responsible so that we're not worrying, how we're going to make it till the end of the month with bills and other priorities.
How long has this been going on for?
It's been going on for a few years. It has gotten worse, though, within the last year or so.
Is he using more chewing tobacco? What do you think the problem is there?
Definitely more chewing tobacco. He goes through maybe 2 to 3 cans a day, and that can be pretty pricey. It hurts us financially, as you could probably imagine.
I assume you've had conversations with him about this. How do those go?
They don't go very well. It usually starts an argument. He has tried to quit multiple times through the last several years. We've done medical. We've spoken to doctors. He's been put on prescriptions. He's tried the patches, everything. He's tried quitting cold turkey, and just nothing has worked, especially since we now have a family. I really thought that would help out in getting him to quit, but it hasn't.
What does he do for work?
He is an HVAC technician.
Does he like his job?
Oh, yes, very much so.
With addiction, it's not as simple as saying, hey, we're gonna cut him off.
Yeah.
And so I still think, I'm not a medical professional, I think cold turkey is the way to go, and I think it starts with this conversation of you going, listen, this is going to deteriorate your health. I want you around to see our kids grow up. I want us to actually hit our financial goals. It's derailing us financially for you to be spending this way. And by the way, gas stations are one of the worst places to buy all of this stuff. It's the highest cost. And so if he's going to do this, he's got to be smarter about it than just impulsively stopping by the gas station every 4 hours. And so he's got to find a way to curb the spending, even if it's, hey, we're cutting back, no more food, snacks, drinks, all of this stuff. And you're going to have to get more involved in the finances. Do you guys have combined bank accounts?
No, and because of that reason, yeah. And I know that's something I've struggled with. I've taken control somewhat of his bank account just so that I can monitor his spending. And every month it's the same thing when we sit down and have that talk. Like, hey, you're spending way too much. And it's just, yeah,
Is this on a credit card, a debit card?
Debit.
Okay. And so he's got the money, but it's his income, and he's just spending down his account every month doing this.
Yes, and we've even tried with having him send like a certain percentage of his paychecks that I would then put into savings or would go towards bills for that month.
I think you need to tell him, listen, I didn't sign up to be married to a child that I have to monitor and babysit. You need to care about this family more than you care about your chewing tobacco habit, and I need you to show me that.
Conversation, yeah.
And if you guys need to go to counseling to deal with the marital issues beneath this, I think if you don't, it's going to cause more resentment, and this marriage isn't going to survive this.
The number one cause of divorce in North America today is money fights and money problems. And if you're not aligned on money going into a marriage, you have a problem because you're not aligned on the number one cause of people splitting up. The other three are you're not aligned on religion, how to raise kids and whether to have them, and how to deal with the freaking in-laws. And if you're not aligned on those four things, you're going to struggle severely in the first decade of your marriage, and it likely will end in divorce.
Why on God's green earth does a 25-year-old young man who's got a bright future ahead of him need a $53,000 truck?
Here's what happened. I'm actually enlisting into the Air Force in about 3 weeks. So kind of what I'm looking for is just advice on what should I do while I'm in the service, just try to get better financially, and then just kind of, grow it while I'm in, if I do choose to get out after my 4 years. I do have a truck that I just purchased, so that is a kind of a debt that I took on.
I wouldn't say kind of a debt. I would just say it's a debt.
But yeah, that's kind of just what I'm just kind of calling in and asking for advice on what I could do while I'm in.
How old are you?
We'll be 25 in February.
And what will you be making?
Starting out, I'll make about $2,700 a month, and then I just progress with the rank as I go through.
Okay. Are you living for free?
Yeah, I mean, I'll live when I'm there. I'll live for free because I live in the dormitories and stuff.
So you can make $2,700 work, and you've got a truck payment now to deal with. Do you need this truck?
Well, Yeah, it's kind of.
It was a trick question, Hayden. The answer is you do not
need.
need this truck. How much was this truck?
It was $53,000.
Now tell me on why on God's green earth does
Easy,
a 25-year-old young man who's got a bright future ahead of him need a $53,000 truck?
Here's what happened. I had a car. I've had a car for about 10 years, and the warranty was about to run out and everything. I will say this: my family has helped me with the payments so far, and but when I get started and get established into the military, then I will take on the payments.
I'm still looking for a reason why you needed a $53,000 truck that you couldn't afford. How much is the payment?
The payment is $825 a month.
Oh my word!
I can't breathe, Hayden.
And your family's paying all of it?
Yeah, so I'm paying the insurance on it, and then the payments just started coming out at the beginning of this month.
Yeah, so you don't even know what it's like to experience an $800
And you're asking me
payment.
how to grow your investments? Do you understand how diabolically inverse those two things are? That you're paying interest on a depreciating asset that's almost twice your income while asking me how to build wealth. Do you find this ironic?
Yeah, that was a concern of mine when the vehicle was coming up.
Here's how you build wealth, Hayden. I'm going to be honest. You sell the truck while you can and get out from underneath this payment. How much could you sell it for?
I bought it pretty much brand new. Like, it had one owner, and it only had like 6,000 miles on it, so I could probably make my money back on it.
Do you have any money saved?
I've got about 20,000 saved, and then I've got some cash, probably 8 to 10.
So here's what I would do. I would sell that truck and then take $10,000 and get yourself a reasonable used car. Because you told me your stated goal is to build wealth, right?
Absolutely.
So if that's the thing we're aiming at, then we're going to spend as little money as possible on toys and depreciating assets.
I'm feeling a little discouraged. A year ago, my husband and I were on baby step 4. We had 2 full-time jobs, 3 additional income streams. But in the last 12 months, my husband lost his job. We're down 2 income streams. We had to deplete our emergency savings, use some retirement funds, and go into debt.
Why?
You
didn't have to, but you did. Why?
We were trying to get out of debt by selling one of our properties. It took us longer to sell the property, and we had to put more into it to sell it than we were expecting to.
Okay. How can I best help, darling?
Well, so we are net worth millionaires, but we're struggling to get by month to month, and we recently sold one of our rental properties, like I said, to get us out of debt, and we're just at a crossroads and unsure of what the next best move is.
So is your household expenses too high?
Yes.
What's it take for you to live a year?
Well, including the mortgages that we have, it's around $15,000 a month.
So you're net worth millionaires, but you've leveraged yourself into real estate and gone broke. Yes. You need to be selling every piece of real estate you have except your personal residence. You're not cash flowing on this. Your $1 million net worth is not paying you enough to justify the expenses that you have.
Okay, so, but...
You've got debt associated with all this net worth, so the net worth is invalid.
Okay, but my husband's income isn't enough for us to live off of, and we need additional...
It is if you don't need $15,000 a month to live. Most people don't.
Are you catching what we're saying? What's the biggest chunk of the 15? Give us the real numbers.
I mean, the 2 mortgages, obviously.
Right. So what are those 2 mortgages?
One is $4,600 and one is $3,400.
Right.
So sell them.
Right. Well, and that's what I'm saying is we did sell a property, and we have...
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the property you already sold. I'm talking about the one that's killing you right now. You have houses you can't afford.
Okay. It's, it's worth $1.8 million, and we have about $260,000
wonderful,
left.
but it's killing you.
And then do what with the money?
Buy a paid-for house that has no mortgages.
Okay.
You've got debt that's so high that it is invalid, that is creating personal consumption debt on real estate. You have 2 houses, neither of one of which are rentals. Neither one of which are investment properties. You are consuming $8,000, $9,000 a month in mortgage payments. Am I understanding you correctly?
Yes, sir. We have a third rent.
I know, but those properties right there are creating the $15,000 a month nut you want to crack. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so you bought houses you can't afford, honey. That's what we're saying. The most aggressively marketed product in the United States today is debt. Debt is sold as a product more aggressively, more sophistication, more money, more bandwidth is spent selling you folks debt because it's so profitable than any other product. I mean, you think you've seen a Chevy Silverado run through a mud puddle on every football program for the last 20 years, and you think Chevy spends money on that? It's nothing compared to what Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and your local bank, they spend money convincing you, and they've convinced an entire culture generationally that the only way to prosper, the only way to get what I need is to go to the bank.
I need some advice on how I can break it to my wife that we are broke and that we are $500,000 in debt.
Why does she not know this?
I take care of all of our finances. She has a credit card that she swipes and doesn't have to worry about anything.
Yes, she should.
It's just something that I've taken advantage of. And, you know.
How long y'all been married?
We got married in 2022.
She's been married 3 years.
Yes.
You ran up $500,000 in debt in 3 years?
Yes.
How much do you owe on your home?
$330,000.
Okay, she knows that.
Yes.
Okay, and what is the other $170,000 in debt?
We have 2 vehicle loans. My vehicle is $50,000 and hers is $35,000.
Okay, and she's aware of those.
She is.
Okay. The way you describe this is like there's $500,000 in debt my wife doesn't know about. Yes, she does.
It's about $80,000 of credit card debt that she may not understand is floating out there.
But she's been running her credit card around like she's in Congress, so she probably has a clue about that too. Let's reframe this a little bit then, okay? What you're really asking is, how do I get my wife to get on a plan because our current plan sucks?
Correct.
Okay. So what I would do is say this. Say, hon, I gave this a shot. I'm a new husband. I didn't know what I was doing, but I am getting very afraid with our current trajectory that we're going to be broke, and we are really broke right now. We have car payments, we have house payments, we have credit cards that are out of control, and you and I are going to have to work together to get on a different system than the one we've been using. I recommend that the two of you sit down and have a come to Jesus meeting tonight and say, here's what our total income is per month. Here's what we have to spend on the house. Here's what we have to spend on these cars. We have this much in credit card debt, and we have to buy some food and lights. Let's figure this out.
I earned myself about $193,000 in debt between vehicles and toys and fun things. I'm really close to like 100% debt to income. So my question is, how can I get myself out of this? I've got $43,700 in a side-by-side, $40,200 in a truck, $35,700 in a car, $35,242 in a camp trailer, $14,456 in another side-by-side, $9,300 in a secured loan that I had to get to pay auto repair, $8,000 in a dirt bike, $5,000 in another loan I had to get to pay a car repair.
What lender is dumb enough to give you another dime? Like, this is kind of on them.
The thing is I had about half that debt with a job that I couldn't pay for it. Then I got this other job that pays pretty dang well and got excited and went and got some more.
Are you single?
You know, I'm married.
What does she think of this?
She's on the same page as I am.
Has she been complicit in this? Is she an accomplice to these crimes?
Yeah, definitely. I would take probably 90% of the blame.
Okay, and what's your household income?
I should be about 110 a year, maybe.
Is your wife staying home with the kids?
Yes.
Okay, well, the good news is you can get out of a lot of this. It's going to hurt. You have negative equity in most of these, I imagine. But the good news is you can at least sell it.
Yeah.
So if you sold everything to your name, how much do you think you could make from this?
I don't know, 120 maybe.
You need to sit down with your wife tonight and do a written budget. You can use the EveryDollar app. You're going to need to go, here's what we're bringing in this month. How can we limit every single dime we spend to just the bare necessities, 4 walls, food, utilities, housing, transportation? Anything beyond that needs to start getting thrown at these debts from smallest to largest balance, ignore the interest rates. And then on top of that, we need to figure out what is the right price point to where this thing will sell and how do I get the most out of it. You probably need to go to your lenders and talk to them and say, hey, here's the deal. I'm underwater on all of this. I'm trying to get out. Can you help me? You got some bad collateral here because this thing is not worth what I owe. And see if they'll give you the difference to cover it so that you're, instead of $43,000 in debt, you're now $7,000 in debt for the difference. And the good news is you don't need any of this to live.
Nope.
So all of it can go.
Not one thing.
You don't need a camp trailer because you're not going anywhere. You don't need a side-by-side because fun is not in the picture for the next 2 years.
Yep.
And if your wife works, get the kids in a daycare and you work extra jobs and we get your income to 200 grand, we start selling this off to now you're 100 grand in debt. Now this is a solvable problem. You see how the math changes here? But right now, there's no way out of this unless we change the numbers.
So I have a brother-in-law who is just a big dumb animal, and I love him dearly, and he came to me and says, hey, I got 20 grand I'm going to put down on a car, but I need help. And I said, you got 20 grand? Okay, fine, I'll do it for you. So I co-signed for him.
You got in the mud with this animal, my friend, and we can't tell the two apart. We don't know who's dumb and who's smart.
I know. And all I can hear in the background when I got done doing this is Dave saying and reciting scripture to me, saying, one who signs debt for another is stupid.
Yeah, that's right.
The King James Bible.
That sounds like him.
So I'm like, why did I do this?
And
so
him,
anyway,
not
so
Dave,
now,
God.
Yes.
No, yeah, God said it. So now I'm in the process of either just letting this go into a voluntary repossession. He's going away for a very long time on a vacation, an unwanted vacation.
Is he going to prison?
Yes, he is.
Oh, boy.
So
okay.
Anyways, yeah. So now it's an $1,100 car payment, and
goodness gracious, can you not sell it?
Well, I can sell it. So either way, I can sell it. But right now, the buyout is 62 on it, and to sell it, it's going to be around maybe 50.
Is that private party or is that trading?
Yeah, that's private party.
Okay, so you're going to be you're 12
yeah.
underwater. He obviously has no money. He's going to prison.
None.
And do you have money?
I do, but I don't want to do this. I don't want to.
You already did it, my friend. It's just going to add insult to injury. You understand what's going to happen with the repo, right? They're going to sell it at auction for like 15 grand, and you're still going to owe the difference.
Yes.
It doesn't get you out of it. And so it's going to be even worse if you do the repo. So you might as well control the variables here and sell it for as much as you can. And then even, take the cash as a stupid tax and go, all right, I owe 12 grand to get this out of my life. That's the only way out of this that is going to leave you with the least amount of harm.